Hi Ashton.
Hi.
I understand you have some questions about the Australian Age of Dinosaurs.
Yes, I have indeed.
Would you like to ask me?
Yeah. Who started Australian Age of Dinosaurs?
Oh, that one's easy. That's David Elliott, David and Judy. And I can tell you more about that. But you had another question too.
Yeah. Who found Banjo and Matilda?
The Australovenator.
Yeah, and the Dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, I think I can answer those because I've actually worked on both Banjo and Matilda, and I've got some amazing photos.
Wow, that's interesting.
So watch this space. I'll have some answers for you on that one. Hi Ashton, thanks for that question. Yeah, I do know who started the Australian Age of Dinosaurs. It's David Elliott, David and Judy Elliott, out at Belmont Station. And I vividly remember the first time I met them. David was giving a talk at the Queensland Museum, and the talk was called Dinosaurs in Queensland. And I went, oh really? Whatever, dream on. But it was a hot day, and the museum auditorium was air-conditioned. So I went, and there was David on the stage, and he was talking about finding these dinosaurs out on Belmont Station, which is his cattle station out in Winton, or out of the back of Winton actually. So these amazing pictures of bones that had been found and the description of what sort of dinosaur it was. And could people who wanted to work on dinosaurs please go out there? He had a shearing shed that you could stay in, and you were most welcome to go, and he'd teach you how to work on dinosaur bones. Well, who could resist an opportunity like that? So out I went. So here are some of the pictures of Belmont Station. This is when I went out first in 2008. And I went out on a dig. Well, no, I didn't go out on a dig. They'd already been dug. The bones were sitting in his utility shed, which was just a mass of bones you can see here. And really, they just wanted people who could work on the bones. And so they showed us how to work with little dentist's drills and gradually extract the dinosaur bones from the rock, and it was so exciting. So that was 2008. I was hooked. Dinosaur dust up my nose. I couldn't stay away from the place. So that's how my journey started, was with the enthusiasm from David Elliott on that talk. Here are some pictures of the bones that we worked on when we were out there. So I actually worked on Matilda, which was amazing. I knew very little about Matilda at that stage, but she was quite a lady, that one. And even more exciting was the finding of this. This is Banjo's claw. And as you know, Banjo and Matilda were found in the same grave. And as a consequence of being there and getting dinosaur dust up my nose, I finished up writing a story based on how I figured that they ended up in the same hole. And this is my first book, Dinosaurs Fight to Survive. So this started me on writing books as well. You had another question in there, and that was who actually found Matilda and who found Banjo. Well, it turns out that they were both found in the same hole, which I mentioned, and they were found on a cattle property by the owner of the cattle property. I haven't been able to find out exactly how she found them, but she found them on the property. So Matilda was found on this cattle property in 2005. The Elliots and what had become the Age of Dinosaurs got very interested and organised a dig in 2006, and there were subsequent digs on the property from 2006 to 2010. As a result of these digs, approximately 30% of Matilda's skeleton has been found, which makes her the most complete Cretaceous sauropod ever found in Australia, which is quite something. But I was actually out at Belmont, working on Matilda, as I said, when they found the first bits of Banjo. And I can remember the buzz around the place because the bone that was unearthed was definitely not from Matilda. In fact, it looked like this. It looked like this bone. It's obviously a claw, and as we know, sauropods didn't have claws, and so they knew they had a whole new species in the same dig, but they didn't know what it was, so it was incredibly exciting. And that turned out to be Banjo. And Banjo, 30% of him has been recovered from the dig site as well. He's a theropod, not a sauropod, so he's a meat eater. And he is actually a special branch of theropods. They're called megaraptors. So we're talking seriously big theropods. So I've been lucky enough to work on lots of bits of Banjo on the times that I've gone up to Winton. Here are some pieces of Banjo that I've worked on over the years. Some of these bits are the little pieces of his ribs that came out under his chest line. So we're talking, quite small rib areas. And you can see by the size of the glue, the super glue that I've got here against the piece that I was working on, how small these bits were. And they were in fact fragments, so there was a lot of sifting and mucking around, and they were broken into lots of little bits. So we would super glue them together. So there's another reason to have super glue on you. You never know when you need to fix a dinosaur. So here's the pictures of the Banjo skeleton that we've got on display at the Age of Dinosaurs now, and I'm sure there's been more bits of that added. So it's been quite a trip with Matilda and Banjo. And thank you, Ashton, for asking the question. I've enjoyed the journey.
Hit the subscribe button and put a like on them. Ding the notification bells for more time with Rosie and Ashton.